What is going on, guys? I'm Weston Mac, and welcome back to the channel. And today, we have another 10-minute video, and this one's actually related to the footage. I've gotten better at doing that now. We are watching Overwatch Classic because we're going to be talking about the reigning supreme of the free-to-play model, which is the Classic or OG or whatever you want to call it mode. I'm sure we've all seen it in Fortnite. We've now seen it in Overwatch. We've seen it in World of Warcraft, and we have a lot more game modes to talk about. But before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff before it's too late. Before it's too late. Anyways, yeah, so classic modes. So let's kind of go back before we start and jump into my thoughts on what's going on right now in the industry. Why is this happening in the first place? Well, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, which is a pretty common phrase in most media right now. Whether it's in the music industry, where certain artists, like Taylor Swift, for instance, is redoing all of her old classics. You have the video game industry for years remastering and remaking old games, and you have the movie industry where just in the last couple years you have stuff like Ghostbusters coming back into relevance as they are making sequels upon sequels of their old stuff. Why is this happening? Well, it is a pretty common trend, and I was going to say capitalism, what the heck, just in the media in general, where going back to older stuff just kind of makes sense. You have established media that has an established fan base which you can feed off of, and a good chunk of the time the content doesn't come out amazing, as you're not going to be able to strike lightning twice most of the time. But now it has come all the way back around and to modern day. And what I mean by that is we've had this trend of video games remastering or remaking their older versions for a while now. But what do you do if your game's been around for, I don't know, 8 to even a decade worth of time? That is the position that Fortnite's been in, and now Overwatch is in, with their, I think, 8-year anniversary coming up. And I believe it's been 10 years since the game was revealed in 2014, I believe. They're now looking at, okay, how can we capitalize on the nostalgia of this game being old and making everybody else who played the game when it first came out, like myself, feel a little too old, if I'm being honest. Well, they're gonna look to Fortnite, which last November, I believe, I think it was either last November or December. Fortnite OG came out, and for an entire month they went through and relived chapter 1 of Fortnite, the first ever seasons where everybody was in high school and it was the best days of their life, and you could just log on and play Fortnite and get off, and it was the best night you've ever had. They tried to capitalize on that nostalgia, and it worked amazingly. I believe they broke their all-time concurrent numbers, if I remember correctly. And at that point, they then set a new bar for the industry, saying that nostalgia for free-to-play games does work. Nostalgia for games that have been around for a while does work. And so now you have Overwatch looking into that and being like, hey, we're now 8 years out from our original game coming out and 10 years from our original reveal. How can we make Overwatch Classic? And that's where we came to. Now, I've been loving playing Overwatch Classic. You're actually seeing my very mid Reaper gameplay. Actually, here's an ultimate on a Mei that had her cryo. It was a very bad ultimate. But I've been loving playing Overwatch Classic. I've going back to 6v6 and a lot of these older parts of the game, which in some ways have aged poorly, and actually in most ways have aged poorly, like the 4-man res that just went off there. But in other ways, it's kind of just fun. This is a game that won Game of the Year in their 2016 version somehow. But it genuinely, it takes, I think it takes away a lot of the competitiveness, and it just makes it so much more fun. And that's what kind of relates back to a lot of these other OG versions and stuff like that. If we take it over to World of Warcraft, Blizzard's first try at a classic mode, yeah, it doesn't hold up as well, in my opinion, compared to, well, in certain ways. Like in terms of graphics, obviously, and the grindiness of it and stuff like that. but it's also so much more basic. You just log on and you try to talk to people to convince them to jump into the dungeons with you and stuff like that. So many of the modern services that makes the game easier, in all frankness, are just gone. And that's the same thing with Overwatch, and that was the same thing with Fortnite. You had so many of these old broken systems and items and stuff like that that came back into the game that in a modern competitive system would just not work. And I think you have to look through the lens of how you play the game and what you enjoy in it to really find your enjoyment in these classic modes. I am not a person that's going to be like, there should be no classic modes and no more OG status. I mean, we already have so many of these games. I know Apex Legends just recently revealed they were doing an OG Season 1 season, just like Fortnite, just like Overwatch, just like World of Warcraft, just like the rest of the industry. I think there might have been something else that was revealed, but these are just the mainstream games that I know of right now. And oh, here comes another Reaper ult. Here we go. It's gonna be huge. I got killed again. But yeah, stuff like that where it's a really dumb move. And if I'm playing on my account where I'm playing, and I think I'm plat or diamond right now in DPS, I would get flamed into oblivion. But I'm playing Overwatch Classic, and really nothing like that cares. Well, nothing like that cares. No one really like that cares. So, in my opinion, does this whole classic or OG movement, whatever you want to call it, benefit the player? I think is the main thing that I go back to a lot. Is it benefiting the player? Are the players having fun? Is this a good thing? Absolutely yes. I love this. This is a good thing that is happening to the industry. Oh, I only get one kill from that. Oh, I thought I got more than that. It's a good thing for the gaming industry, in my opinion. A lot of these OG or classic versions are going back to when the game was in a different space. In Fortnite and Apex's case, it was actually not when they were the most popular. You're allowing people to go back either back in time for themselves or be able like, hey, I know we're playing together now, but let's check out this old version that I used to play, or check out a version I used to watch YouTubers play because I didn't own the game at the time. It allows people to enjoy content again, or enjoy content for the first time that's already been developed. For the developers, in most cases, it's going to be a case where you're not going to have to do as much of arm work. You're not going to have to go and redevelop new versions of these characters or new game mechanics. It's just right there. You just have to re-implement them. And it's easier on the developers, and you also allow the players to enjoy and have fun in something that no longer exists. You don't have a 6-man res or 5-man res for Mercy. You don't have the Zapatron 3000 for Fortnite. And whatever gun that Apex has. I've never played Apex, if I'm being honest. I played like a game of Valkyrie once, and that was about it. Anyways, but yeah, I genuinely think this is a very good thing for the industry in the long run. And Fortnite in particular is leading the industry in that. How I think most developers are going to take is the Fortnite route. And what they are doing is they're going to be setting up a Fortnite OG permanent mode. Now, right now, they currently have Fortnite OG Remix 2, which is going back to Chapter 2 and remixing it, adding like Snoop Dogg, Ice Spice, Eminem, and Juice WRLD. I know that's a crazy sentence, and I don't have enough time to explain it because we're near the end of the video, but that's what they're doing. They are setting up a Fortnite permanent OG mode where you can go through and play the entirety of Chapter 1 for the rest of 2025. So I think that's the development route that most teams are going to go. I would not be surprised if a OG classic Overwatch mode is a maybe semi-permanent or rotating mode for Overwatch. I wouldn't be surprised if Apex adds the original island and Season 1 is a rotating mix of all that sort of stuff. But I'm kind of getting on a rambling, and we're near the end of the video. But yes, I'm very excited to see what's the future of these OG and classic modes. I think it's great for the industry, and I think it's great for these games. If you have any more comments or just want to talk about this, make sure to leave some comments down below. Make sure to read them. Make sure to like, subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time.